Okay, this has been a wild night. Um, uh, okay, our first thing I want to talk about is the giant thing. This is really bothering me. like, it's just what's bothering me is the disrespect of people, humans. They are so fucking aggressive. So I don't even know if you guys have seen. It was on TikTok, but I don't know if it's spread its way through other platforms. Which I'm not even gonna do videos on TikTok. I don't think at all. I don't think I'm gonna do any. I'll go on and look, but it's just, I mean, it's ridiculous. The censorship and stuff that's going on right now, and it's not just mine, it's person after person. It's like they won't even let your videos go past like 30. All of my, everything on all of my notifications is all comments that I've made on other people's videos. Nobody can even see mine. Nobody can hear what I'm saying. It's like, fuck them. I'm so sick of this shit. But, so on TikTok, there was a guy, and I would feel like some of you guys have got to have seen this footage. It's cool as shit, too. So he's in Oregon, and the state next to mine. And it's all mountains over here. And the mountain ranges go like up in Canada. Like these are huge mountains. I've talked about crossing the passes and stuff. And so over there in Oregon, so he's out, I don't know if he was out walking his dog or what he was doing, but he looks up and he sees a giant hole in the mountain, and he sees a big giant door shut. And they're saying this door is like, I can't remember. I always get mixed up on numbers of, we're saying like, and there's a big difference between 20 foot and 200 foot. 20 foot seems like, you know, but I don't know, because it's on the side of the mountain and it's fucking huge. And you see it shut. Like it was on camera. You see this thing shut. You see there's a hole, and then there's suddenly something shuts in front of it. It's trippy. And the guy said that as soon as it happened, he saw a face peering out the window, and he could see it was a giant. And so he was like totally tripping out, and he was trying to get up there to it. It's like, okay, first of all, like, have these people ever fucking studied about giants? Like, do they know anything that's going on? It's like, it's weird that, giants eat people. I'm gonna say they're cannibals. I don't know if they eat each other, but we're just a little tasty morsel. Like, like watch the Missing 411. Oh, like, especially the Missing 411 of the hunter. There's a bunch of them, but they did a hunter's version, and I just remember this one story because this guy had been a hunter for, forever, his whole life, and his sons were hunters, his friends were, they were all this big group of hunters, and they went out and they have, I don't know, it's kind of like military maneuvers through. So they all take these placements in the forest, and then they do things to, I don't know, it's like surrounding the animals or something so that they can't get past them or something. I'm not sure how it works because I'm not a hunter. But they were all set up like that. And the one guy, he was second to last, I think. And I can't remember how many feet is in between. Like, I don't think you can see the person, but you can hear them. Like, you can talk. And, but they use, like, their rifles to also talk to each other. Like, if someone can't find somebody, you keep doing that, and they follow the sound. Like, there's a whole thing about that. And so, whatever happened, and I don't remember how all of a sudden they figured it out that this guy was missing, and then they could never ever find him or anything. But when they started looking into, like, there was some weird sound. Like, the giants can move quick, like, they can take big steps. Something big came in and took him, and he was gone in an instant. And I still go with the Bigfoot is, I think Bigfoot may be vegetarian or something. I don't think that they're meat eaters, and if they are, they're probably more of a scavenger. But Bigfoot is a lot more of a gentle kind of thing. It's just like a big hairy man who just wants to be left alone and just go and, like Jeremiah, what was that guy, that old mountain guy back in the 70s, Jeremiah something. I don't know, but that's what they are, just kind of these big creatures that are multidimensional. They can move around. The forest and stuff have a lot to offer, and that they like to come into these forests and into this place. And but from the stuff I've ever heard is that they don't eat meat, and they're also very they do ceremonies when each other dies. That's why you don't find them everywhere, because they do burials and stuff. There's a whole thing about that. And I don't even know where I'm getting all this stuff. Maybe all through different channelers and different stuff like that. But it's always, you know, like I never saw him as a threat. I never saw Bigfoot as like a scary creature. I mean, when has it ever been aggressive? When has it ever come up to people's houses? There's some people who have stories where they say that a bunch of creatures have come up to their house, and they say they're Bigfoots, but I don't think they are. I think they're probably more like skinwalkers, more like that creature that guy saw running by his truck. Because there's there's beings from other planets that look different than us. And we are just food source. Just like, look at how many creatures on our own planet that we treat as a food source. Like, and so when other people come to this one, or from other realms and stuff, like, we're a food source. I mean, our government has a whole thing set up with some of these beings that they feed us to them. So I think that's what the National Forest is all about personally. It's like, this is your space. If they wander in, it's okay. Eat a couple of them, it's fine. Because people disappear all the time in the National Forest, all the time. And it's crazy. Like the missing 411 guy talks about how many cases there are. He doesn't even cover them all. He just covers some that are just so wacky. But people go missing all the time. And then there's the whole thing about the giant in Afghanistan in those mountains, and that battle with the soldiers. And there's lots of information. I mean, for anybody who thinks giants aren't real, then, you know, you got to start opening your damn mind. And so, but they are, you know, separate creatures living in their own realm. Like, they're living their own existence. Even if they're sharing this space with us, they are in a different reality, a different realm. And, you know, a lot of people don't even have the awareness of them and just go out in the forest and don't think anything about it. And so many people have so many creepy things happen when they go way out, if they live to tell about it. Like, how many of the weird experiences were they having and they didn't come out of the forest and tell us? But some of the people who have ran, like, you can hear a lot of creepy stories about people having crazy experiences in the forest and camping and hiking, things following them. There's like the thing that whistles, and then you hear a lot about that in the Appalachian. You're not supposed to talk when they call your name. You're not supposed to acknowledge them when they whistle. That's why I use the same kind of thing with any of the kind of ghosts I see around. I'm not going to interact with them unless some ghost knowing, like, hey, yeah, let's talk. It's like, no, you're in another realm. I got other shit going on, dude. Like, okay, so giants are real, and they are here, and there's remnants of them everywhere. The giant buildings, the giant doors, and everything. And so, of course, you know, there would still be some. They were probably ran out of places. They probably, just like the same way we're feeling right now, this happened to them at some point. And they had to run for the hills and hide and survive, and they've been out there doing it. And so this guy runs across one the other day, and all this stuff is supposed to be happening, right? I mean, we're supposed to begin to see the realms around us. We're supposed to be opening our mind to what the world and what life is really all about. And it's a way different world than what they want to tell you. Oh my gosh. And there's so much more. You know, after I did that one yesterday, and I put it together, for me, I mean, maybe other people put it together before, but when I put together, like, the Blues and the Yahtzees, they're the same team. And they're trying to tell us, like, oh, they're trying to get us, oh. No, it's the same motherfucking team. And so, you know, putting that together. And then I went on TikTok while my stuff was downloading, which was so wacky because, you know, the video just stopped right in the middle. So I started downloading it right away. And then I had to go in, take out the pictures, you know, clean up my fucking thing. And then I went out and cleared it because there's a cache or something on TikTok that will also empty out some of your space. So I cleared that cache thing, and then I looked at a couple of videos and stuff. So it was like, you know, I don't know, 20 minutes, half hour between the time of the video, and then I started the next video, and then I talked like an hour and a half. So it was 2 hours that the other video was downloading, which was an hour and 5 minutes long. And it started 2 hours before the other one. So then I finished the second one, downloaded it, and it was done in an hour and a half or something, went on. And then the other one still didn't go on for 2 more hours. So, you know, I don't know. I have no idea what the fucking whack world this shit is. But so, anyways, the giant thing, I don't remember why I was telling that, but Crystal had said something about, she thought she watched them out of order. I tried to put them on in order. I tried. And this has happened every time that this has ever happened, that they go out of order. So sorry about that. It's just, I have no idea how they did that one. I thought for sure that other one would go on before the other one. I thought it would probably go on a couple hours before the other one. That was wacky, man. And then it just shows like how they can just download something super, super fast. And other things, they'll just leave it sitting there for like 7 hours. I'm not kidding you. It'll go through the whole process. It'll get to the very end where it says it's at 99% done. And it will sit there for 5 hours. Same thing. There's nothing happening. It's wacky, man. So, okay. I'm going to go back to the giant thing. So, you know, the giants are real. And they probably ran up into the hills a long time ago and have been out there surviving in the mountains, you know. And they could have been, you know, super bougie in their fancy buildings a long time ago. Their lifespan could be totally different. Our lifespan, it has to do with what they tell us our lifespan is. So there's a whole thing about that. You know, and we're not meant to have long ones in this kind of situation. Which I see so many different people saying so many different things, but it's like everybody's going through the process. So people are saying things that I think that they're going to, as they continue to awaken, that they'll expand even more past where they are. But anyways, so and I think right now, like, it's wacky, man. And I think it's something with I think we're in a full moon again. So if you're having wacky time, like, look. So anyways, so this guy goes and he shows this mountain thing. So then I started following him, and then I started seeing a paranormal chick. She started following the story, and or obviously a lot of people did. And so he did some other videos. So he did another video, and he was saying how wild his life has become from that video. It's like everywhere he goes, people are stopping him. They want to talk to him. Now he's got a nickname. I think they just call him the Giant Guy or something. He said everywhere he goes, he's getting bombarded with people trying to talk to him, people messaging him. He said it's crazy. And so other people had watched the video. And so this one I was seeing yesterday, so I started following this guy, and he was doing several parts. So the first guy who saw the door closed, he went back and he's done some videos. He took his wife and they started trying to climb the mountain. They're going up there. They're going to go knock at this fucking giant's door. And this is what I was like, do you guys understand? Like, this guy's hiding for a reason. And so, and how much danger. I mean, in Afghanistan, they fucking slaughtered that one. And, you know, I mean, he's fighting for his life and he didn't win. So, you know, I was just like, come on, people. Like, have some respect. Fuck. And then, So they're trying to climb up there and they're doing all these videos. And this guy said it was scary, that he said some really crazy things happened. Like he said this giant branch came out of nowhere and flew down at him. He said this giant boulder came out of nowhere and came down at him. And so, you know, come on. And so he's freaked, but that didn't stop him. Well, they're just going to go up another way. His wife's not going. She's scared shitless, so she said, fuck no. So he's going by himself. So he's going up another way. Well, then this other guy, now he's out there, and he's doing the same thing, and he's trying. So they're all trying to find these paths up to this door, and it's very, very steep. And as you're trying to climb it, the stuff falls apart. And so they're trying to climb up and coming at all these different ways. And so when you go over the one side, so you come up over the mountain, so you're up here and the door's down here. And then they'd have to scale down, so you can't get there. All the paths and stuff. And the one guy even said it kind of looks like something climbs up out of there, which it probably isn't a big climb. Like, you know, I mean, you could have some rudimentary kind of thing that he throws up that hooks, and then he climbs up and gets out. Like, you know, think about if you were hiding, if we went into the mountains and hiding against this regime and we had to go hide, we would figure it out, like how to stay hidden. And so, so now this other guy's out there too. And so they're all doing videos. So the second guy, he was doing videos, and I was watching his. He had like 4 parts of him trying to get up there. He's going up this path, going up that, and he's like, nothing too weird or crazy is happening. So he wasn't having any branches or shit falling at him. He wasn't hearing any crazy sounds or anything. Which, you talk about crazy sounds, like the fucking screaming, and it's not just Texas. That is so creepy. If you hear that fucking video, oh my gosh. And the weird sounds I've heard out here, like even the other day, I was hearing some really weird sounds. It wasn't near as loud as this though. I mean, this sounds like eerie. Like the sky is screaming this horrible horror scream. Ew, it's creepy as fuck. And then somebody in the comments said, oh, we're getting that over here somewhere else, another place. So more than one place are having these really horrible sounding screaming up in the sky. I don't know if it's the firmament falling. Like, I don't know what the fuck. It's creepy as fuck. And so, so this other guy, he's up in the mountainside, and he's going around looking for the fucking giant and trying to, you know, he's showing, like, he went over the top. That's how he was showing, like, the door's down there, and I can't get down there. I'd have to scale this side. So he's, like, checking all these paths and stuff. And so he's sitting there talking, and then you see he has a fucking big-ass rifle, and he has some other fucking big-ass fucking, a weapon. I was like, oh, my God, people. Even on one of his things, I had written, because it was like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and I don't remember which part, because I was seeing them out of order. And so in one of the parts, I said, I don't see why you guys don't leave an offering, like leave an offering out, and then put like a camera, you know, one of those go-to cameras or whatever, hang it in a tree and leave an offering, and then, you know, you get footage. But the giant could be smart to not see it. But that's how you, to me, you would start communicating, is leave something, just like we do with the crows. Leave something, and then they bring something back. And you start like a relationship like that. I don't get how these people are being this aggressive. And especially coming and with a gun, and this other giant, I mean, this other thing was like I don't know, giant mallet or something. I don't even remember. It was like vicious. And I was like, well, I guess if you're up hiking through the mountains, I guess you better have something in case you run across a bear or something. But I was like, you look like a giant hunting, you know? You're trying to bag a big one, drag it down the hill and show everybody, look what I caught. I was like, what the fuck? I can see why the fucking giants are going out there stealing the hunters to eat them. It's like, goddamn, karma's a bitch, isn't it? So, so this guy is doing these parts, and I said something about that, like, why, I don't get why you guys are not, why you're being so aggressive on this. And it's like, do you guys understand giants or something? Like, it's weird. It's like, I don't, it's weird. It's like, do you not understand, like, these are thinking beings? Like, this thing has figured out how to survive out here without being seen all this time. Like, you think it was just birthed out here, just suddenly born? Like, it's probably been there ever since they were run out from Tartaria or whatever. Like, you know, we've got lots of different tribes that have been out, like in the Amazon and stuff. There's tribes that they don't even know about. So, you know, there's people out there who are living without the overreach of the overlords. And so you know, and this guy, obviously, and he could have a family up there too. You know, it could be a family of giants. I don't know. Could have a wife and kids up there. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe it's a fucking clan. I don't know what the hell. But, and then they found a bunch of other caves and caves around on the other side and stuff. So now they want to go around and go into these other caves and start going through the caves. It's like, this is wacky. It's like, you guys are way, don't, like, I'm just, I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a YouTuber who was doing ones on the caves, and he was going into them, and then suddenly his videos stopped. And there's that one guy who, he was going in the caves for years, and then he shared some really crazy thing, and then nobody saw it for a while, and then all of a sudden it just blew up, and everybody was seeing. And he was talking about the, you know, you shouldn't be going in the caves. These are other beings. Like, go in the caves, run into some reptilians. You think they're going to be like, hey, come on in, let's show you around. Like, there's other beings that live here besides us. And so, and there's just like no respect, man. So he, it was another video too where he had done, and I had commented too. And I don't remember what my comment, but my, you know, my perspective is different than these people. And so so he comes down the mountain, and then he's standing down there, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is really blown up. And he shows down the street. It's full. Cars just full. Everybody's come there now. And he said the whole side of the thing, everybody's trying to climb the side of the mountain. There's just all these people out there now trying to climb the side of the mountain to get up there to the giant. Hopefully he's got a backdoor exit and he can just go out some other cave and go to another place. Like, I mean, these are intelligent beings. These aren't stupid beings. These aren't fucking, well, people don't even have any respect for animals. Like, I can't even tell you how many videos I've seen. It's just horrendous what people are doing. I mean, there was one yesterday, this lady just found this dog because she's a dog trainer who takes her dogs to this park and trains them. And when she went pulling up for her morning training session, somebody had tied some really old dog. Like their senior dog who's, you know, he's fucking old. And they just went out there and took his leash and just tied him, and the dog just laid down, and then the people drove off. She saw the people drive off, and the dog was just laying there waiting for his people to come back. So she took him. I don't know any updates or something, but I've seen so many of these stories. I mean, it's one after another after another. It's just like, it's heartbreaking what's going on out there in the world. It's fucking just, it's hard, man. This is hard as fuck. It's hard for me to even see these people, you know, they just want to be the first one to see the giant. I got to go viral. I'm going to get a picture of him. I hope he comes out and starts fucking eating them. Maybe he just come out and starts throwing boulders at him, and then, you know, do a disappearing act and go somewhere else and get the fuck away from him. It's like so disrespectful. But to me, if you knew there was a giant, like, I don't even know where you would come up with, like, he's a friendly giant. I mean, when people live together before some reset that occurred, then, you know, everybody got along. But there's definitely been periods of time where the giants and the people were at odds. They were two separate species, and the one who has the stronger power, you know, would eat the other one. Like, that is even back in There's Indian tribes, or whatever you want to call the people. I'm sure in fuck not calling anybody Native American ever fucking again. If I do, fuck, catch me and tell me, like, that's a bullshit. Native American, fuck. What a fucking scam. And, but now there's so many more people, because I even said something like, you know, Anne Frank seems to be the introduction for us all to the H, doesn't it? It's like they introduce that book in school to kids who get them all tore up about this girl. Oh my God, how hard, how horrible. And it was made up or something. Or it's a story that from some other time or something. The whole thing is bullshit. The whole thing. All of this fucking made up whole H thing that happened so these people could go take the land from these people and be protected. And I mean, it's just, it's a part of the reset thing. It's like, once they decided that we're going to take over, I don't know what was going on in the world. You know, if they're really, and maybe they were a part of this. Maybe it was so many people died, like from Spanish flu and all these introduction of all these diseases that they were doing. Because these scientists, I mean, they fucking made us. So the scientists, you know, are far beyond what we understand. So I don't know if, what was I going to say? So if they somehow were involved in all of that disease and they killed off all of the people, because this isn't, some of the resets have not been natural reset. Like there's a natural reset and then there's a created reset. So there was a created reset in there, for sure, at least one, because we came from it. And so whatever they did, and then they, all those really cool buildings and stuff, and so they went in and burned down all of these cities. And I don't know if it's because so many of the people had died and then they just wanted to hide it and start over and thought that they could control us and make this perfect world that they wanted it to be, set with their rules. And then it even seemed like I said before, like when I was younger, it was like they were trying to push us into being more moral, but then there was religion, which is a total twist. So I don't know if it was just to fuck with our heads or something. But when you watch like the old programs, like yesterday, I went and I put on, it popped up, Gidget. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, Gidget. I love that. And so I was watching that. It was like such a happy beach movie. I love those happy beach movies. And just, you know, it was so much more about integrity and stuff like that. And then something happened, you know, where they decided we're not going to, we're going to take them in the opposite direction. We don't want them to have integrity. But it seems like it was, you know, it was going one direction and it turned. So, because I'm telling you, the pressure on us when we were younger, like we were expected to be perfect. And so I'm not, oh gosh, this stuff irritates me. And you know, the YouTube Premium has gone up to $18.99. $18.99 a month if you don't want commercials. Because they're always telling me, which I'm sure they're telling me because I'm always bitching about, oh, they just put a commercial on right in the middle of meditation. And then it pops up, if you don't want commercials, $18.99 for premium. Oh, it's like, oh my God. Because I was going to do it yesterday if it was $10.99 to get rid of them. But then it was like almost double. I was like, okay, this is irritating. This is some fucking bullshit. So, okay, let me think. Because like fucking Prime is like $13.99 a month, and you get all your shit sent for free. You don't have to pay postage on your shit. That's why I did it. Because being rural, you don't have the gas to run in and get everything. And if their UPS is driving by your house anyways, have them drop your shit off. So you just order it, and then it was free shipping. So anyways, that's why I had it. But sometimes I'll go on and watch a movie on Prime, but not very often. But it's like $13.99 a year. And And then YouTube wants to be $18.99 a year. Fucking Hulu's gone way up. Netflix has kicked everybody off. And they won't let there be any more groups like families on it, because then we'll all pitch in and sit, and do a thing together and share the sign-in. Well, they're onto that, which I'm sure lots of families do it. So they kicked everybody off, and only the one house where the bill comes from gets it anymore. And Hulu, I'm sure they'll be right up doing that too, all of these ones. So, okay, I have a bunch of things coming in my head right now. And then all of a sudden I was thinking about that girl I was just talking about with Crystal, that case, because I had seen some other stuff about that case then too, and then and I looked it up too, and it's just like, but I didn't read all the stuff. Like, I didn't know that they were charging her with Munchausen and stuff. It just is mind-blowing that $220 million, they take her daughter, charge her with Munchausen, won't give her kid back. 3 months she gets so depressed and kills herself, and then her family gets $220 million for that. I go in and go through all of the pain, all of the stuff they do, break my brain, lose all of my things, all of my everything lost in my life, and they want to give me shit and just be like, it's just crazy. My attorney was trying to get $2 million, because they add up like all your different stuff. I don't even know where you come up with a number like 220 million. And but it's like the hospital was negligent and criminal, like they all are. But she killed herself. I don't know. Like, and then there's a whole thing about the spiritual side of life. Like, that's that girl who's going through all this. This is her story. This is what was supposed to happen for her. So, anyways, she was supposed to lose her mom. She was supposed to, and there's no way for any of us to know anybody's whole soul thing. Like, your soul, this is just a little chapter out of a whole mess of stuff. So there's no way that we can understand all the things that they're putting in balance and parts they're playing. So that would be just mind-boggling. You can't sit there and try and figure out what makes people do the things they do, because they're all on their own ride. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm real disgusted about the people trying to go after the giants in such aggressive way, when there's so much other ways of making contact. And then there's all these people saying to do the drones. So now we're going to have all these people trying to climb the side. Who knows what's going on today? This was yesterday. Now it'll be Monday, which, oh, fuck, come on, Monday. Come on, bring us some fucking shit. I don't know how many things went on. Every time I would see like a protest or something, I was just like whacked. And I'm still... like, I think there's more to this flag shit. Oh, yeah, and also Trump, Kid Rock, some other guy. I think his name was Dana or something. And, let's see, Kid Rock. Tucker. Went to the UFC. And then, of course, they made an entry right at this certain song, as he always does. And I don't know, I heard a newscaster just going... oh, maybe that was fake. Maybe that was some kind of deep fake or something, because they had like, I can picture, because it said it was, I think it was Pansky or whatever, the redheaded Russian, whatever, that chick, which she's probably already gone. Like, where the hell has she been? And, because you knew she did some bad stuff, like, same as this lady. I can't think of her name. But the woman who's the press secretary right now, I'm like, fuck. I wonder what the hell this lady did. It's gotta be some bad shit. She looks like a fool. They are making sure she looks like a fucking idiot. And she does it. She looks like a fucking idiot. And so I get thinking she's gotta have done some bad stuff. But that Jan Pansky or whatever, she definitely had. I mean, who knows? I had just seen her in that one hat, and she was a commie. Apparently, like, I don't know for sure. I don't even know all the different things, but anyway, the little clip thing, it just was showing how, oh my God, Trump looks so hot. And they have it set up like it's a news thing. And then they have her. But the thing she's saying is that he's so hot, she wanted to go back to band camp with her flute. Oh, people are so weird. But what I did notice is, like, he looks good. He looks like younger. Like, he definitely looks like he's getting younger. And that's got to be something where people start seeing, like, how's he getting younger? How's he, and plus all the stress he's going through, like, they're constantly pulling him in, they're going to jail him, they're taking away his stuff, taking away his business license, taking all this shit. And he just doesn't even look stressed at all. He just gets younger looking. Well, I say that's a med bed thing for sure. So that, I think, gives us great, I don't know, insight to me. Like, oh, the med beds must be working, because look at that guy. He's just getting younger by the fucking day. I don't know. I mean, he definitely, to me, looks like he's gone back 20 years or something. His hair, his everything. He just looks younger. So, and I think that is kind of a part of it, have some of these people come out and look like that. So people keep questioning, like, how's that happening? Because we got to start opening our minds. The technology is so far beyond what we understand, that the limiting belief is that we're flesh and blood and that we're going to die and that they can make us sick and stuff. So so when they came in, which there's all this thing about Tucker and Trump now, if he's gonna put him in as his, because it's not gonna be a running thing. There's not gonna be a running thing. And then all this stuff with the JFK thing, because all these people you've still got all these people on the JFK Jr. is gonna be, and they're putting up pictures and stuff of him, this old guy that looks exactly like him. I'm sure it is the guy. But then you have this other guy who is the real JFK Jr., who was the other guy, replaced him a long time ago, and he's out there saying all this stuff. So, oh no, this stuff is so wacky. So fucking wacky. But so they must have, whatever they did in this reset, when they burned down all this stuff, must have been when the giants had to hide and run to the hills. They had to get away. They were burning down their buildings and stuff. And because they had giant ass doors. So I don't know. It seems like that was the giants' world, and then I don't know if it was these other beings came, and then started taking animals and making them into other things, and other beings coming. But the giants are also, and then plus when you watch the thing on Gaia channel with Matheus DeStefano, and he talks about the giants were put here a long time ago as the keepers of the information. Like, they had a big role in this planet. And so I don't know, I just feel like it was so disrespectful how these people are acting. And I bet you they are going to be having drones and shit fly into there. And I don't know. I think it's weird as fuck. So, okay, so let me think. Because there's a bunch of things I wanted to say. For one thing, too, is, if you are around anyone healing at all, especially in a crisis, like, you gotta set your boundaries and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, it is like like when someone's drowning on the water, and they always say you can't just go out and save somebody. They'll pull you down with them energetically. Is what it's like. So energetically, you do have to keep yourself separate from someone else's pain, because it will suck the fucking life out of you and leave you depleted with nothing left, and there's nothing you can do, everybody, it's an internal journey. It's so internal to find your place, and it is you're going on your internal journey to your truth, to who you are, to loving yourself and stuff. You have to let go of everything outside of that. It's like everything that you thought you were, everything that you thought was real, you have to let go of it. You have to let it, burn up and die. And that's what we're having on micro macro. Remember, this is everything's micro macro. What's happening in the world is happening in our lives. And what's happening in our lives is much more impactful than what's happening in the world. The reason everybody's so impacted right now with what's going on in the world is because that's where our focus, our energy. If you are focused on what's happening in your internal, in your own world, then you'd probably be devastated too. Because, but it's over something that you have more control over. You have more control over. And one thing that is really important is to recognize if you keep saying somebody else did this, somebody else did that, and keep thinking that that's your problem, you've got to go deeper. You cannot get stuck on thinking this person did this to me. You have to take responsibility for your choices. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. You can't fix them. You can't heal them. You can talk about it 500 jillion times. It's not going to make any difference. You're just beating a dead horse. Nothing. It's not going to make a difference. Just being a dead horse. Just talking about. It's like a distraction at some point. Like if you need to do that for your process, everybody's got to go through their process. It's all different speeds for everybody. And there's no set speed on healing. There's no set speed on any of it. It's, an individual's it's an individual journey. It's what you have to go through. And nobody knows the things you've gone through and how they impact you. You have to unpack them. And, gotta realize the dark, how the dark surrounds you. They want to keep you where you are. And they will feed you message after message that have worked on you. So all these things that they're telling you, they've always worked. They know what works. You have to break those patterns. Every time that something negative comes in your head, you have to counterbalance it with a positive. You need to start talking to the energy that is trying to consume you, as it's a separate thing. People are so absorbed. I think everything that comes in their mind. I was so glad the other day I saw this girl saying, everything in your head's not your thoughts. I don't know where they come from, but there's people who are seeing things that I don't know. I'm just so glad it happened to me at such a young age, because it was like, I don't know what it would be like to have it happening. I'm like watching it happen to people. I'm just glad that I have got to live my life like this. I just feel, god damn, where I felt so like an oddball for so long. Now I just feel like, fuck, I'm a lucky motherfucker. Oh, damn. The shit that people are having to go through. Because it is, it's just because I had such strong guidance, at such an early age for so long, that I didn't build up other things, like other painful things. Like I had, like for me, my painful things in my childhood, like they would walk me through it. They would help me. They were always showing me things and seeing me things. And so I was able to, not, I just have a very different attitude. I have a very different way of looking at things. Like, not a victim. I could see things in a much bigger perspective at such a young age. So I wouldn't be as burdened by things as what some people carry, so many burdens. And so then as time would go on, I just got caught up in the dark. Just so many people just keep pulling at you and pulling at you. And, especially with love, like how people come in, oh, I love you. And then you get together with them and then they don't even know you and stuff. So I had so many things to learn through that. Like I was way too trusting of people. I really believed in, love and, I'm a warrior of love. That's what my name means. So it was something I was learning about. And so through all of that learning, they would help me and stuff. And so, you think like, well, then how did you end up having anything you needed to heal by the time it was the dark night? How did things get so bad? Well, because through going through the different relationships, like our society, like I said, the dark of our society, they would make you out to be the victim. You're abused. Just even on the thing where, if you were a sex abuse survivor, of incest and stuff, they told us back then, it was all over the place, all the time. If you've been sexually abused, you'll be an abuser. Really? Yes. If you are sexually abused, you will be an abuser, 100%. And so, I was going through life very, like, scared of myself. Like, very, like, oh, shit. Like, even with my kids, there was a, when they were little, we'd hold them and play, but then there became a point where, ooh, I don't want to be a perv. Like, maybe this is pervy. Maybe if I'm holding them, I'm a perv, So that stuff kept me more distant. So that darkness of this world messed with my mind all the time. And so, and I was very alone in my thoughts, very alone in how I looked at the world. When I talked about it, people would laugh at me and think I was a fucking weirdo. And so, when, and then, it was part of my journey was to go through all of these relationships, which I know as being a karmic thing, stuff I had to put back in order, which, I feel like there's a great reason why that woman told me when I was very beginning in my journey that I was this, gypsy woman, beautiful gypsy woman who used my looks to screw people over. I was real corrupt and I was a skis. And so I fucked a lot of people over. So then, when I started realizing the spiritual side of life, then I started seeing, oh, these people who are fucking me over, it's payback. It's fair play. It's like, so I completely get it. I totally could see, like I could see the whole thing. And so, but still it was like, I wasn't given tools in life and I was struggled. I was used a lot. If you don't see your value and somebody sees something they want from you, then they use you for what they want. And if you are weak-minded and you don't stand up for yourself, then you're used. And it doesn't feel good. And so, I went through a lot of that, not having good boundaries. I was deep into my feminine part, which I just saw this girl. So the Schumann's going wacky, and this girl said she had to do a meditation on it because she was like, this is wild. So she asked her guides and did a meditation. And so she said that she was seeing that her left side was her masculine side, and her right side, no, was it the other? Because whatever she was saying, I was thinking mine's opposite. So it must be because I would think of my right side as being my feminine and my left side as being my masculine. But, everybody's yin and yang could be turned in anything inside of us, I would presume. So your balance could, would be your own individual. But, you do have to recognize, that you have both inside of you. The light and the dark, the yin, the yang, the masculine, feminine, the AC/DC, the light and dark, and it's not to say that men are dark, but they are the strong, they're the protector. Then the feminine is the light, the nurturer, the creator, so both sides are needed. You need both to make a complete. You don't need two emotional, you need to complete your wholeness. You need to fill in the whole thing and find your balance. So you got to complete your masculine, whatever, through your traumas, whatever was hurt, that you took away that side of yourself. to protect yourself, to set boundaries for yourself. That was something that always impressed me with men, that I, as a woman growing up, that I would see how men were, and they could be so sharp, so direct, and then just, you know, nobody got their feelings hurt. Everybody just bounce it off and just go about their business. And I'd be like, whoa, that's so crazy. That's so different. Because women, you cannot be direct. You have to be all like, you know, you know, you gotta be so, and it's still emotional. Like, I could see for a man how frustrating it can be to deal with a woman, because you can't say shit. She'll fall apart. Can't be honest. And I saw this guy yesterday too, and he was saying about, I think he's some kind of comedian, and he was pretty kind of rude about it. But it was true what he was saying. But he was saying, you know, that all these women, he said, you go and you put on your Spanx, you go put on your push-up bra, you go put on, what was it? He was going through all the things. So oh, your butt lift. Okay, so I guess there's probably butt lifting Spanx, the ones that lift your butt and then suck in your stomach. And then you put on a push-up bra, then you put on some clothes, and you put on your extensions, then you put on all your makeup, and then you, I don't even know what else. And then you go out, and then you say you want a man who's really honest. But what is honest about you? Like, you go to bed with this woman, and you wake up, and it's not the same woman. And he said, you know, when all those things start coming off, and it's a completely different person. He said, like, you can wake up. One of the things, I can't even remember, it was something about the makeup. Oh, the contouring. Yeah, because they do extreme makeup. Like, it's crazy. I don't, and then these women who just keep using, everybody's on the bold glamour filter all of a sudden. It's like, it's wacky to me. It's like, I mean, this was fucking back 10 years ago, I swear to God, on Instagram, where it was like all these people who started becoming popular or viral or whatever. And then it started being shown that they don't look like they do on Instagram. You catch them outside, and they don't look the same. Very different. And then some people were getting pictures, and you get this like ragged looking person, and then you put all these filters on them, and then they all of a sudden look different. It's like, why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you want to put on those totally fake persons that you can't even go out in public? Like, nobody would even know who you were, because you're not that person on there. Well, some people, I think they would recognize their voices, or they've got distinct hair. But some people are going so extreme now. I think that they're using a filter on their phone to film, and then going and putting it on the thing. Like, it's getting weirder. It's getting weirder. And somebody even said that all of our phones automatically do bold glamour on us, which then I started being like, well, what do I even look like? Like, because when I look in the mirror, I feel like I look like this. Like, suppose if we don't see ourselves because we see ourselves backwards and upside down or something. But this looks like the same thing to me as when I look in the mirror, except for the coloring sometimes is off, and sometimes the way like the highlights or shadows will hit, and I'll think, oh my God, it looks like I'm fucking bald. And I'll go and look, and I'll be like, oh no, it's just my hair is just white underneath. And so it just looks like that. But on the thing, I'll think like, God, that looks weird, you know? So there's things like that. Or like, I'll be looking and I'll be like, oh my God, it looks like I got the fucking, those eyebrows, those little thin mark eyebrow things. And I keep thinking, is this some kind of filter that is going over my face? It's weird. So I don't know. I can't see that good. So anyways, what was I saying about that? Bold glamour, people going out in public, not being able to, like, you're not even the same, like, you create a persona, you create an avatar that can't even go out in public and be the same person. It's like, why not just work on yourself? Why not just make yourself into the person you want to be, so you can go out in public and be yourself? Like, I don't know, it's weird. And okay, let me think, because there was something I feel like I wanted to keep talking about that I ended all of a sudden. So I have a bunch of different things coming in my head. It's like you gotta weed through the fucking forest. Whatever with the reset, yeah, it's like whatever they did with this reset thing, I don't even know. But it's trippy when you start really realizing, like, I mean, they made up, and this was something that went on. Like, this was something I remember when this happened, because the whole thing came out, and they said when they started talking about the H, all these people were saying it was made up. That was not true. It was made up. They were lying. And then then they started pulling out all these people and bringing out people. Oh, they're actual survivors. They've got the tattoo right here. You better listen to them. They're telling the truth. And then it's like, okay, so what kind of mind control bullshit you got going on here? Because, I mean, at this point now, especially if you haven't seen some of this footage off of the fucking Strip and stuff, like, crisis actor galore. There's no fucking way I believe all this bullshit. No fucking way. Like, it's like actors trying to get a fucking award, trying to win an Academy Award. Oh, which, by the way, I just saw this one girl, and she does a lot with Mandela effects and, you know, what's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? She's always doing that. Come from meditation music to we need to know about this Jergens. And then it just goes right back. It's weird, man. Subliminal fucking messaging. So, the, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this girl, she's always doing the Mandela effect stuff. And she's always saying, what's going on, guys? Well, there's a few that say that as their, like, keyword thing. And so she, today her thing was she was doing on Jim Carrey. And she was saying, you know, for one thing, it's weird how many movies of his have such a significance. And so she's like, okay, there's something like he's a being from another world has come in to show us something, which I think is true. And he said, and so she was saying, she was pointing out how weird, you know, because of his, he was always imitating people. Isn't that what it's called? When you pretend like you're somebody else? Is it imitating people? I can't remember what it's called. But he would do that, and he would do it in different roles, you know? He would imitate some other thing, like Dirty Harry or whatever. He would put those things in his movies, copying something that was out of another movie. So like in The Cable Guy, how he does the line from Clarice. But that line now no longer exists. That line's changed, except for Jim Carrey says the real line that we all remember in this movie. But that line is no longer in the movie. And so then the Sally Field one, which I knew that one, you know, as soon as they were coming out and saying Sally Field didn't say that, I was like, I mean, my daughter played The Mask for like 3 times a day for like a year or something. It was on my TV all day long. While the kids were at school. My little girl, she'd go up, she'd pop it out, put it in the rewinder, rewind it, and put it back in. She just loved it. And it was fun, you know, it was really fun. There was a lot of stuff going on, and it was cute. I don't know, maybe it was inappropriate for her age or something. I didn't seem to be inappropriate, but, you know, I probably wasn't the most appropriate person always either. So, anyways, but, you know, I remembered that. Him doing that whole, I think you love me, you really, really love me. And then they came out and said, Sally Field never said that. I was like, so she pointed that one out. Then the Monopoly guy, he no longer has his thing. And so they say, well, he never had it. But then Jim Carrey goes up to a guy in Ace Ventura and says, oh, you're the, because he has one of those on. He goes, oh, you must be the Monopoly guy. So, you know, why would you do that? Then they say that off the mirror, that they no longer say objects may appear closer than they are. But Jim Carrey says, as Ace Ventura, as that guy comes barreling down and smashing into his windshield, you know, objects may appear closer than they are. So, you know, he has put these things out there that they are taking away, which when she was saying it, it was like, that is trippy. That is trippy. And then plus the movies that he's been in, I mean, they're significant, Truman Show, like, fuck, how many times have I referenced that? Like, that's significant. Like, we're living in the Truman Show, like, and then he's in the movie to kind of get us to wake up to it. And I don't know that he was awake. I mean, like, I don't know that he was awake to all this stuff when that was going on. Like, he'd have to tell me. And, oh, I just saw one of those little short things on Shirley MacLaine where some of these people just do all these aging things where some of the pictures, I was like, is this really the person? Like the Harrison Ford one? I was like, what? How did he go from this to this? Is this for real? And Shirley MacLaine one, just the last picture, she just looks so old. And I was like, oh, I really want to meet her. Oh, I really want to meet her. She just, this gonna make me cry. Man, she was such a role model for me. Fuck. I don't know how I would have even gotten through some of the time without, like when there's somebody who you really respect, like I really liked her. And then when I was looking at the old pictures, of the little thing that they were showing, and I could see like why I liked her so much as a kid too, because she had those cheeks, like we had a similar face, and then the same kind of personality. She just was different. She wasn't like the sexy girl. She was more of the, I don't know, I just really related to her. And so then when she started going through her spiritual awakening and writing about it and stuff, and then when I started reading about it, it's like I know that there's a soul connection. Like it's weird how somebody can have such an effect on you in your life. And then it just got me through so much, man. When people would be making fun of me and stuff, I would just, and I knew people were making fun of her, but it was like I stood in solidarity. It was like, I know, it's in my heart too, it's in my soul. I remember. And so, I hear him talking, like, so anyways, she just had a huge impact on me. And even if I don't get to meet her, I'm sure I know her out there in the soul world, but I would just really like to get to, and tell her how important she was to me in such an important part. I mean, it's such a big part of my life. And you just didn't, I mean, like, I didn't realize how big it was until, you get to this part and you see, like, everybody just trying to wake up and remember they have a soul. I was like, fuck, man, this is intense. So intense. And it's fucking gonna get more intense, man. Like, believe you me, like, just be prepared, and if you are awake through this, I'm telling you, this is big on working on your boundaries and stuff like that, because somebody who is drowning will take you down with them, and you have to be able to be strong through this, because people are about to go into the biggest crises, like fucking existential crises on steroids. So like when mine happened, I had been just living my life. I lived differently though, because I had bad things happen all the time, and I knew it was extreme and more because I would bitch about it all the time to people, and people couldn't believe it. People were telling me like, God dang, you need to write a book. I've never known anybody have so much shit go down in their life. And so I knew I was going through it all the time. And, but I just kept thinking, well, something's wrong with me. Like, what the fuck? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? And, not having any idea. And, like, I didn't even understand how out of balance I was. How I was so, you just don't realize it, sometimes we need to have people point things out to us, and so, I don't know, I just know I was going through all of these bad relationships. I got a brain injury, I was losing everything, I was losing my identity, my friends, all my belongings. It was just this purging out of energy of all of this toxicity. So I was, I was just going through so much for so many years. And I kept trying to pick up the pieces, make the best of it, try and put together some sort of life, and try and always make the best of it and be happy. And I kept getting into these situations where I was having the life sucked out of me all the fucking time. But it was then when that last husband left me, because there was so much where I just kept noticing I was staying. I felt like I felt trapped or something, like I was holding myself back. The brain injury was like an excuse to hold myself back. I lost trust in myself. And, when I started this channel, even, I was talking about like building trust back up with myself, going on road trips, learning to, I can go out there in the world. I'm not going to just get lost. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to, all these things that I had to go out and learn about myself to be independent again. And so, but at the time, I was just trying to live my life. I just had a bad situation with relationships. I just one bad relationship after another, which, on a soul level, it makes sense. And then on the things I have to learn, my lessons, it makes even more sense once you get to the other side. Because then it was when the last one had left, and I had myself so convinced that I had to keep putting my feelings aside and stay in a situation where I wasn't happy. And, like I would just make the best of it. And, but the universe did me a favor and said, no, that's not your life. We don't want you just to make the best of it. We want you to thrive. We want you to have the joy, the love, and the life that you want. And so, that person, like I said, did something for me that I couldn't do for myself, and they left me. And they didn't come back, even if I whined, even if I tried or whatever, because the first few weeks, I would try and talk to him and, well, what's going on? Or what's going on? And then once he came to get his stuff, then it was like, okay, we're done talking. And neither of us ever talked again. There was some point, I don't remember how it all went down, but there was definitely some point where we just never spoke again. It was like, no. But, I had to see my patterns. I had to see how I was living my life. I had to be honest with myself. I had to see how I was putting myself aside. I was trying to please others, to find love, was being used and abused and all sorts of stuff. And I was allowing it because I thought, I just wanted somebody to care about me. I wanted, so I let myself be treated bad. And so I had to wake up to that and see. So I had to see my patterns. I had to see, and then I had to see how I had hurt my kids by, whatever pain they went through, whatever, my daughter's pain she went through, that I had parts of me that was selfish. And then I had to see, my weaknesses and the parts of me, the shadow aspect of myself. And I had to process through that. And so we all have a shadow aspect. But, some of us have the shadow aspect, but we also have a lot of damage that we've done along the way, that we've gone through life as a bulldozer, just plowing through and hurting people and discarding people. And so that's where, I didn't have that, because I was going through life in a different way. Like being vindictive is such an acceptable thing. And as a spiritual person, you would never do that. You would understand, no, you got to send out good energy. The energy you send out is going to come back on you. So if you're trying to cause this person a problem because they hurt you, then that energy is going to come back on you. Vindictive and revenge and stuff is an energy that will come back on you. And so many people think that's the way to live, but then you're going to get yourself in a cycle that is just, you're always getting beat down by life because you're putting that energy out. You're being vindictive. You're being hateful. Well, that person fucked me over. Fuck them for the rest of their life. I don't feel like that about anybody. I don't feel like I hate anybody. Even any of these horrible, horrible people who are out here in the world doing their stuff, I don't feel like I hate any of them. I'll be glad when they're all gone. I'll be glad when we've purged this dark energy out. And I look forward to living in a world of peace and love and unity. I look forward to it. This is definitely hard to go through, you know, to experience. But I understand also that the things that are the challenges are what we're supposed to be growing. We're supposed to meet those challenges. We're supposed to see ourselves and work on ourselves through this process. And so it is, oh my God, another commercial already. Like, what the fuck? I gotta change off of this one. That's some bullshit, man. That was 963 God and 420 something, I don't know. It was a mix. But some of these are just, I don't know, this is bullshit. I do need to, if I keep on saying lies about YouTube's my favorite and I like YouTube, even though it pisses me off because I know they're fucking people's accounts. Because I see people talking about it. And I know they fuck my account, so it's really hard for me to go like, well, yeah, I'm gonna give them $20 a month. It's like, if it was more on the up and up, and it wasn't some fuckery, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. But when it's like a paying the keeper, you know, it's like I don't like that. So, anyways, but a lot of people, you know, through their life, lived a life of being hateful or vindictive. Somebody fucked them over, they're gonna fuck them over back. Yeah, you know, and being real guarded. Somebody hurt you, so then you treat the next person like shit. Like, there's a lot of toxic shit that goes on. And all that you have done, all the things that you have done, your soul's gonna make sure you know when it's time to heal. Because you gotta heal that stuff. You gotta see, like, why did I do that? And you know, you can't sit there and keep thinking, well, they did that, so I had to. Okay, well, that's a big dead end. You need to go in and see, like, you know, well, like something I had just said. If somebody got you to do something, that's not the fucking point. You gotta look at why you followed along. That's the point. That's where you find your healing, is why you did what you did. Doesn't fucking matter what anybody else fucking does. Everybody's gonna do what they fucking do. And everybody's out there just trying to survive. And they all got toxic fucking shit. But you have got to figure out what you do and why you do it. So you're wasting time, you know, you can waste fucking years going over and over it and convincing yourself that everybody's a total asshole in the world. But you're not going to heal. You're not going to heal. You're just going to be more isolated. That's that dark energy, and that's what they get, what they want. Get you isolated. Because you got to remember that dark energy is in there fucking telling you to keep you right where you are. So they'll talk shit on anything outside of how they want to keep you. It's depressed, sad, isolated. So that's where they will keep you down, because that's what feeds them. Which I just saw this. So I guess apparently on Facebook, my stomach's growling now. On Facebook, there's a whole what's that, parasite group, probably more than one. But this girl, she was just doing a video the other day, and she was saying that she's in a parasite group. And so she went to her parasite group and talked to them about this, but she was also telling us, because she said it was the grossest thing she's ever seen. And so she got sick with the sickness, and after she got sick with the sickness, her lungs were really hurting. And she went and got checked, which is weird as fuck, because they said in her x-ray they could see something in there, but they didn't know what it was. And it was probably from the sickness. So her chest was hurting really, really bad. And she got pregnant. And then, so she couldn't really do a lot of detoxing or anything, she said. So she just had to just endure this pain, this chest pain that she was having. And she didn't know what it was and why it was or whatever, but then she also was pregnant, so she had to do that. And so then after she had the baby, then she started doing detoxing. And so a big giant worm, she said, came out in her poop the other day. She said it was huge, and it was dead, but she said it was huge. And when it did, her lungs quit hurting. So she was like, you know, is it, that's what's in there that's making people sick? Is it that? And I would say probably. Like I keep saying, they're dumping, it's not like they're dumping worms on us. You got to think about, they're dumping, what is this stuff called? It's like the eggs. It's, I can't hear the word. It's like the eggs. It's like what it comes from, which is really, really tiny. It's like microscopic. So and then plus how much science shit they've done, and then they've micro-engineered shit and stuff, and they're dumping all this stuff on us. And I've thought the whole time that the sickness was a mask for the poison. So, you know, that's how I see it. It's like all of the different ones. You know, they say it's cancer, they say it's a sickness. Well, is it? Or is it, how is it that all these anti-parasitic stuff is making that go away? So, go look that up. I'm sure there's a Facebook page on it, like an Instagram page on it. All these people who are cancer survivor, all through parasitic cleansing. So that's a whole thing, a whole movement. And so, I don't know, put the pieces together. So, you know, all this stuff is just keep putting the pieces together and see where they fit. And when they don't fit, you know, there's probably another piece that you're missing. And there, you know, we're being shown piece after piece after piece. Like, I don't know what's going on with this Mike Johnson guy now. I don't know if he's a bad guy that's being exposed, or if they're taking the slow roll around to make sure they get all of the stuff as they're going through this. You know, I know there's a lot of the people who are real hung up on the government thing are getting real mad over how this shit is being handled. But it is going to go from, like, it's just going to flip. It's going to go like this is like they're setting the table for Thanksgiving. Like, everything's getting set. Like, everything's being out there. And then all of a sudden, it's going to just, like, flip. Here's dinner. You know, it's going to be there. Because you can see, if you're paying attention, the table's being set. All this information's coming out. You can smell the dinner cooking. It's all there right in front of us, but you have to be paying attention. And so, and then so many people are so scared of life and who they are and the confusion because of all the lies and how you have to break through all the lies. Like, there's a lot of shit to heal. Like, I've been doing this for fucking years and years and years. Like, I've been single 6 years of it. So it's, you know, on my own. And what is it now? Like, since March 2019. So let's say all of 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. In isolation, in the forest, with minimal contact. So, and it's been good. That's the thing. That's the fucking beauty of it. It's like, people don't get. And, you know, and definitely when I was in my dark night, you know, because the healing has been quite a journey. You know, if we started back from my brain injury, it's been a thing the whole time. There's been movement the whole time. I've never been stagnant in any of, as one thing to me, you don't do nothing. Nothing gets done. Everything stays the same. It dies. You've got to stay in movement. You've got to be putting your energy towards something. Most people are putting it towards negative. You got to put it towards positive. No matter how you get hit with things, you got to put it towards positive. So even if, you know, everything gets taken away from you and people die and everything falls apart, you got to put it back together. And so I was putting it back together. I mean, it wasn't putting it back together right at the first. The first part was losing everything. The first part was having everything taken away from me. So I would be left with nothing. So then, and then, you know, that made me kind of weak and dependent on somebody who treated me poorly, who had no respect for me, who didn't really care about me. You know, I had low standards. I told you it was my rock bottom. You know, sorry, Rich, but it's just facts. And, you know, and I wished well for him, you know. I mean, he was way younger. Hopefully he's gotten a lot. Hopefully he's healed and he's doing better. Hopefully he's not drinking. Hopefully he's got better relationships now, and he's really improved his life by taking that stand and saying, you make me want to kill myself. I gotta get the fuck away from you. And he went, you know, and he rocked that, hopefully. I don't know. We have no contact. And then I don't care to have contact. That's one thing. If you have not been in my life throughout these past few years, you have no reason to look me up. We've got nothing to talk about. The person that you knew is not here anymore. That's an old version of myself. And if you don't have, don't be thinking that you're coming back from the past and that there's any place for you. That's all I got to say, because there's not. And so, you know, I'm moving forward, and there's, you know, that's it. And so, and that's what you got to do. You got to keep in movement, and you got to keep in honesty with yourself, you know. And so anyways, with all these people who have not even realized they have a soul, have not realized what this place is, have done a lot of things that they don't like because they thought it was the dark. They were living in the world of the darkness, and they didn't realize. And now the light's coming in, and the light coming in is shining and reminding you that it's there. And so it's making the people who were in the dark feel very sick and disgusted with themselves, like, because they were basing the things they were doing on the darkness. And the light will shine in, and that's what it's for. When the light comes in, we're going dark to light. We're going from the yin and the yang in the cycle. We're leaving the dark and going into the light. But it will lead back eventually back to the dark. You know, it's cycles. And so, but the light is coming in. And as the light comes in, that's the universe. That's the hand of God. That is out of people's control. It's going to make you think about things that you don't want to think about. If things, the light comes in, there's nothing you can do about it. And there's only so far you can keep yourself trapped in the dark. And the people who really put a lot of energy into keeping themselves trapped, like, they're going to not be here. They're not going to level up in the game. The game will end for them. As abrupt as my fucking video did yesterday. Boom, and it'll be gone. And there's going to be more and more of that. Oh, and there's so many crazy news things. I couldn't even fucking say them all. Like, there's so many, I couldn't even keep up. Like, I'd have to keep notes. But there's plenty of people out there who are doing that, reporting on every single little thing. But the, what was this one, though? Because I didn't want to say about this one. Oh, yeah, because I keep talking about, like, these little towns and stuff. You gotta remember, like, what I was talking about, how the towns and stuff were set up to always be in control. Like, we've been under control, complete control, always. And so we were born into a controlled environment. We were birthed into a controlled environment. But it's for a reason. It's for a game. It's for a point. There's a point to it. It's not just like how all these people feel like they're so trapped and they were so tricked and stuff. It's like, you wouldn't feel like that if you were more in touch with your soul. Like, you gotta get in touch with your soul. You gotta realize what a soul's doing. Like, if you feel like you're so trapped and you're so this and that, like, that's, you gotta just study spirituality more. Study about reincarnation. You know, find something. I don't know. But that is, you know, anything that is telling you negative like that, that's just not true. It's just, you know, your soul is free. It's free spirit. It gets to do what it wants. It comes into these horrific experiences to grow and to expand. And it's a warrior for the universe. Like, it's the expansion of knowledge, of understanding. It's everything. It's, you know, it's what takes away judgment, the more experience. How can you have judgment on something when you've experienced it? So it's all these experiences, and all these experiences energetically go out, but, you know, you have to be open to that side. And most people have themselves walled off, walled in, like they've got their soul hidden over in a corner, and they've walled themselves to protect themselves, and they're just out there battling this world all alone. And so they have to, wake up to who and what they are, what they're doing here. Like, there's so much to it. Then you got to heal the dark that you did. You got to, after you purge out all the broken parts of you, what's left? What's left? Not much. Not much. And just like I was telling her the other day, for me, I have a lot of things I'm good at. I have a lot of skills. I'm good at a lot of things, and that gives me confidence. It makes me feel good about myself. So that's what you got to go out and do. You got to go find things that you're good at. You got to find things you're interested in, so you want to become good at it. And it doesn't have to be big extreme things. You don't have to fucking, discover some new thing in order to have, think that you have value. You got to follow the things you find interesting, and be like, well, I'm a good cook, or I'm a good sewer, I'm a whatever it is. And even if I say, well, I can sew, there's still tons of people who can sew way better than me. Like that kid, that one boy, I am just so impressed with this kid. I know I want this guy to make me a top hat, and I know I want this kid to make me something. Like, this kid is just, I'm so impressed with this kid. And this is some young guy, and he's putting together a fashion show and stuff, but he's a guy who just sews and sews. He makes his own patterns. He's making a whole clothing line, and it's all like it's kind of sport kind of clothing line, like these hooded sweatshirts and these like baggy pants and stuff. They're really cute. He makes it all out of upcycle. He goes and gets blankets, he goes and gets tablecloths, all sorts of stuff, and then makes them into these cute outfits. I just think he's really cool. And and that girl that I forgot to say, I didn't finish talking about her, the one when I started talking about the bottles. So over in this third world, I'm not gonna say that, no, over in this place that has ended up with all these plastic bottles, and so they're overrun with plastic bottles, and they don't have, it's poor, it's one of the beat down places. And so this girl figured out how to take these plastic bottles. She invented something that spins, that slices them really thin to make this thread. So she started making this thread out of plastic and then making something out of it. So, and I don't remember if she's sewing clothes or she's sewing something. She's making weaving or something. And so recycling all this plastic garbage is everywhere. So she's like, problem, solution. And that's what so many more people got to get into, that innovative role that they have, that they see the problem solution, but everybody's weak. Everybody's weak-minded. Everybody's deliberate's coming into my head. Yeah, you got to have a more deliberate approach to your problems and stuff. You got to have a more deliberate approach to life. You got to get out of this mindset of beating yourself down and playing the victim of poor you, poor you. You got to get into the role of empowerment and seeing, the things that come to you, the problems, the crises, all of the horrible experiences. You set them up, for one thing. You created them. Nobody else did. You did this before you ever came in. You knew exactly what you were coming in here to do. So it was no surprise. You just forgot. And you forget for a reason, because it makes it much more impactful. You really feel it. You feel the pain. You feel the hurt. So if you came into it and you could remember off the bat, you're like, oh, this isn't real, then you wouldn't get any impact from it. So you have to feel the realness. But in this part of what's happening now is where you have to come, to your senses. You have to wake up and you have to see. And then you got to get out of that role and see, like, oh, I did this. I came up with this. This is my storyline. This is what I came to heal. This is what I came to overcome. This is what I came to, to champion myself, to show myself love, even when, the rest of the world wouldn't show me love. I could still show myself love. Sometimes I'll look up and I'll be like, God, that looks weird. Um, so the, um, so, that's important, but that is saving yourself. I mean, there's a big thing about saving yourself. And even if you have someone, which everyone's going to have people around them in a crisis, there's going to be way more than one person. There's going to be extreme. And so every crisis has to save themselves. There's nobody around who can save you. There's nobody around who can say all the things to make your pain go away, which I want to say this. I guess it's more to my person, because I was having a rough night, man. It was fucking rough. Oh God, it's been rough. This is rough, man. I'm telling you, I can smile, but ooh, yeah, it's like you gotta set a lot of boundaries. It can be exhausting, and so but so last night, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just nonstop. Woke up. I don't know how much time I ever even really got to sleep. But, I'll take a nap here in a little while or something. Yesterday I laid down and I was watching something and just fell asleep, and it was like so nice. It was like I was in a deep sleep for a few minutes. I was like, oh, it was nice. But anyways, so I was laying there, and I just kept getting woke up, and so I'm just laying there. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep trying to go back to sleep, but it was like too many things waking me up. It was like every time you try and go and relax, and then I start feeling like, okay, this is dark energy trying to fuck with me, so fuck off. And at some point, it's just like, okay, I'm getting up. Like, I'm not gonna play their games. And so then, but I was still laying there, and I had dozed off for a second, I guess, at some point, because my person came into my space, and it wasn't like it was a dream. It was like so trippy. Like, wherever we are in our space when we're asleep, wherever our consciousness goes into this other realms, these astral realms or something. So my person came up, like we had a whole little thing happen, and it was really, really cool. It was like, it was a complete, like, when they very first started coming in my dreams, it was weird, because they started coming into my dreams, and at first it was like they had no awareness, but I had awareness. And then throughout, especially because this was happening a lot, and seems like around 2018 and 2019, they were coming in a lot into my dreams. And but it was like that they didn't know me. And even their dad came, and their dad's not even alive. And I didn't even know it was their dad at first. I had to go look it up. But their dad came in to my dream with them, and was trying to send me a message. I was so confused. Like, man, when this first started, it was wild. Like, and I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. It was, man, you have to be so strong-minded through some of this shit. I'm telling you, it's like fucking another level. But so I would go to sleep, and then I would be in these dreams with this person, but it would be real. It wouldn't be like a dream. It'd be like I could feel them. I could sense them. I could interact with them and stuff. But they kept being kind of like they were asleep in the dream. Like they weren't fully aware. And so I kept, like, this must be like them becoming aware of me. Like I'm coming into their dreams or something, so that they can start seeing me or something. And so it went through this like transition, and where they started becoming more aware of me in the dreams. It was trippy. And I was like, how would I have done that? Like, how would I have made that happen? How would I go in and make these dreams start doing this? It was trippy. So in this one, this morning when they came in, it wasn't even like a dream or anything. I mean, I was just laying there. And then I thought, okay, I want to try and go back to sleep. And it was like instantaneously. And all of a sudden I was with them. And they were there. And they were completely aware of me and talking to me. And so I don't know. This is just this wild. And so, but this spiritual stuff, because it's one thing when you're living your life as a spiritual person in this realm, but now it's like these other realms are crossing over. So it's like you're having relationships with people you don't even know yet. Like, I haven't even met this person yet, and I'm having this relationship with them. So I feel like when I do meet them, that it's gonna be like, it's gonna go fast, because the relationship's been building in this other realm for so long. Like, it's really trippy. I don't know, like, that's what that's what I'm banking on, really, for my truth, to see what does this all mean, and why have I been going through this for years now, and 6 years of being single. But I don't feel like, I feel single, obviously. I feel like, I've taken care of myself. That has been a beautiful part of being here on my own, is the self-motivation to create and to make changes and to do things. That helps you grow. It helps you build yourself up. And it's so important for your transformation. You gotta push yourself to do things that you don't want to do. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Just like when I painted my house, like, that was a big, because before quarantine happened, I wanted to paint my house. I wanted to change the color. It was like hideous. I hated the color. And there was so much stuff I had to do here. Like, there was just doing the yard was huge. It was so overgrown. There was just so much stuff I had to do here. And I had to just keep doing it. But once everything locked down, that is when I started really being like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to paint it. There's nothing else to do. I'm stuck here anyways. And I had to do things that were hard. Like, a horrible thing about heights, and I had to go climb up this fucking tall ass ladder. And then the spiders were all coming down on me and stuff. Like, there was a lot of things I had to push myself through fears, push myself through, but you pushing yourself is what you see what you're made of. That's why you've got to be self-motivated. You've got to push yourself so you can see what you're made of. Because then you find yourself impressed with yourself. Like, fuck, man, I can do some shit. I can't just do some shit. I'm fucking good at some shit. And you just start feeling good about yourself. And you start becoming well-rounded. You start forming into who you really are. It is just natural. You just start going with, I could have sat here, was new to the area, and quarantine happened and lockdown, and then, could have been a total disaster. And it was fun for me. I had a lot of fun. It was really mind-opening for me. It was so expansive in what I was seeing, what I was understanding. And that's when I started listening to all these other people. I was already just listening to them on Facebook, because that was already going during 2016 when I was going in. And that's when I started telling people who was going to win the election, and they were getting mad at me. I was like, hey, I'm just going out and reading. I'm just reading what people are talking about. I'm reading comments. Go out and read the comments. But people don't. People don't pay attention. People don't care. And I know way more people now. Now I see people all the time who are talking about, oh yeah, go read the comments. Because you get such insight reading the comments. So I was doing that back on, I don't know, I think that was through 2015 and 2016, because it was for that whole, and then that's when I lost that account. was after that, during that whole thing. And then I was showing stuff with the sky. I was showing things with this being sprayed. I was showing things about the big thing that was behind the sun. I was showing all that stuff, except for it was way further back. It was way further back. It was a way, you could see the outline of it, but you couldn't see it as much as now. Like, it's definitely gotten closer over this time, 100%. So, whatever all that means, supposedly it's Nibiru, it's the Anunnaki's return, and then you get these people who are all onto that whole thing of, that's the return of our creator, and that'll blow some minds. Like, I don't know how this is all gonna go down. Like, you have a lot of people now who are like, okay, so what is, it's been 3 years now. They've been telling us we're gonna have 10 days in darkness. Like, when's this gonna occur? Like, how much longer is it gonna be? And it makes you think like maybe the 10 days of darkness has always just been a thing to, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this is all going to play out. And, you know, even with all of our, it's like, because all this information, like all my videos and stuff, like I know you guys listen and stuff, but like all these other people, like all this information, it's hard for me to think like all this information is just going to be taken away, like the universe would do that. It would make very much sense to me. So I don't know. You know, we just got to watch how things play out. Like the universe definitely has a plan. The universe, you know, I mean, we're in destiny. It's already set. It's already going. We're just trying to, you know, where we are, trying to guess what's next, what's next, what's next. And just on the whole broad spectrum of, you know, I just know we're headed to something completely different energy, completely different way of life. And you have to shed the old way. You can't bring the old into the new. You can't bring the dark into the light. The light's shining on the dark to expose the dark. So you can't bring the dark into the light. The light's exposing the dark. And so you have to purge out your darkness in order to go into the light. Just like the same thing as like death, you know? You have to let go of the dark to go into the light. But we're doing this as being alive. So we don't get to just die and let go of it. Which it still stays as an imprint. It still is like if you're in this life and you put everything out of balance, you know, you've put it out of balance, you have to go into the next life and put it back into balance. So that's why, you know, some lives can just be like, what in the hell? You know, to me, always, ever since I was a kid, when people would be going through something, even for my own self, I'd be like, well, fuck, what did I do in a past life, man? I must have really fucked some shit up. And I think a lot of people, you know, have thought that for themselves. You know, like, fuck my life. It's like, what did I do in a past life to cause this to happen? And that is, you know, we do have to put things back in balance. But we are also playing parts for people. Like, it's so much more complex. And it's like, kind of like, does it really, really matter? Like, there's so many other things that matter. Does that really matter? It's just like, kind of have an awareness of it. Because right now, what's so important is for each person to purge their dark out, to get rid of the darkness, because that is the ascension. You have to release the darkness to go to the light. We all have to go to the light. And so you can't go to the light if you're dark. You know, I mean, just think about it. How can you be in the light if you're dark? You would be dark. And there's no room for the dark because it's the light coming in. And that's even on this Hugh stuff and Trump stuff and everything. It keeps being dark to light or going dark to light because it's spiritual. Even though they keep talking about religion and stuff and bringing that up, but I think, you know, it's like on the tip of their tongue, so it's going to fall off because religion's going to be exposed. Everything about religion. And I think, you know, like I've said a million times, I think that's the hidden truth, is the mysticism, the supernatural, the spiritual, the part that's real. That's what they keep hidden. And it's so much different than what they've trained and indoctrinated people to believe life is about. But, you know, everybody has it inside them. Everybody has the truth inside them. You know, but you have to go through, like, you got to think about, like, it is like there's like this pearl inside of you, this beautiful little gift. It's just shining pearl inside of you of truth, but it's surrounded by darkness. It's protected by darkness. And in order to get through, it's kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, because in order to get through, you have to battle all of this darkness inside of you. And all of that darkness is what binds you. It's the demons in the closet. It's the darkness. You gotta open the closet and let the darkness out. You gotta see them. You gotta see yourself for who you are and be aware of your own dark side. And so then you gotta start purging the dark out and letting go of everything that held you in that dark place. So it's like you've got to blow up the buildings inside of you that are dark. You got to blow that world up in order to get to the pearl. And so, it's like they're keeping you from the pearl, but the pearl is your truth. The pearl is, it's your everything. It's who you are. And so, but you've got to fight the battle to get there. And you've gotten yourself where and it isn't like they're trying to protect it. It's more of them trying to keep you out. It's more of like, wasn't it in a never-ending story, like the castle they were trying to get to and the forest was trying to keep them out? It's thinking about that, like if the castle you're trying to get to, the place that you want to be, that fucking pearl, the beauty that you want, but you got to get through this dark forest, and it's a battlefield, and it's your own darkness. But you have to have so much awareness of it. Like I keep saying, and I tell people all the time, you've got to talk to them. You've got to start the conversations in your head. You can't just keep letting the conversations go round and round and round as you watch and beat yourself down. You got to participate. You got to start standing up. You got to stand up to the darkness. You got to tell them, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Pull me down like that. And then you got to see what it is they're holding on to, what it is they've got you trapped with. You got to see, and then you got to release it. And some things will be easier, and some things will be harder. And then there's going to keep being more things that'll come up, more things that'll come up. And then even after you think, well, okay, I healed all that shit, now I feel pretty good. Then somebody's going to come up to you and push you in a certain direction. And that's when you start rebuilding yourself. That's when you go see like, oh, so I got some weaknesses. I'm not in balance. My masculine and feminine are not in balance. You maybe use anger to control people. You maybe use vulnerability, like, oh, poor me, somebody save me. Everybody's got their own games they play. But you've got to become aware of your game and find your balance. So you've got to find that balance, which is a constant steering between this negative and positive inside yourself. And so you've got to keep that balance, and you've got to learn to be vulnerable, and you've got to learn to trust yourself. You've got to learn to, boundaries are important. So all the things that you have to work on, and it's going to be important, dear. When tables turn, like, fuck, I'm telling you, if you have not been around someone in a crisis yet, like, you've got to get strength in yourself. It is going to be a burden for a lot of people. Even there will be some families when things start turning, it's going to flip shit upside down. Oh yeah, that was what I was going to say. Because in all these little towns and stuff where I keep saying there's all this arrests being made, I keep seeing people sharing local stories. So there was a big one that just went down, and I think it was maybe the AG or something of the state. So the Attorney General or something of the state or something got busted or something. I'm not sure if that's the exact title. That whoever it was got busted, and they were of a big trafficking thing. It's like a whole big giant one. And so 4 sheriffs immediately, because what did I say? Pretty sure I just said it a little bit ago. There's going to be a lot of people who don't know that the people that they have got in their families have been involved in some dark shit. You got to think, all this dark shit wasn't going on by itself. Like, there's so much corruption in real estate. There's so much corruption in medical. There's so much corruption in judicial. There's so much there's people out there working in that stuff. People are going to have to face the facts that, some of us have family members who are involved in shady shit. And so there's going to be more and more. What did I say? I said there's going to be tons and tons of these people doing it to themselves. And we haven't even gotten, that's just on the being exposed part. They just fear the being exposed. There's going to be people who will go through the being exposed, and then they're going to get into the part of the humility, the shame, the shame, and what's the other one? Guilt. Shame and guilt. And those are so fucking hard to get over. And that is going to eat some people up. It's going to take a lot of people out of the game. So we still have, a lot of stuff to go through on this part, and I don't know. I'm still fingers crossed that November, we start getting our fucking, I sure haven't gotten anything about a redemption. I haven't got any comments. I'm not seeing other people talking about it. So, who knows? I know it's coming. And everything around us is showing. I saw another economic person explaining how this is going with the banks, how this is going down, because they are trying to sell out their stock or something in order to get their stability back, but their stock is going for pennies, so it's just dropping them. So, if their stock was worth 100 million and now all of a sudden their stock's worth 10 bucks. So they're losing money. So it's all going to crash, and that it's all going to affect the market. So it's all going to go. It's in the process. Like, if you're paying attention, you're watching it happen. There's nothing to fear about, like, well, are we really going to have this happen? Like, I can't believe how many people think that. I can't believe how many people still think we're going on the Fed now. It's like, no, we're going to freedom. This is moving into the light. This is dark to light. We're moving into freedom. It's a big show to get people to wake up. So it's a big, horrendous, horrible show to get people to wake up and to see and to think and to question things, because it's a lot to wake up to. There's a lot of work to do. And you have, like, if you want to ascend, and it's coming. Like, this reset, this is a natural reset, though, and it's fucking, it's happening over in Iceland, and who knows how much of these people with their machinery is promoting this stuff, but this is a natural reset that is going to, because we're going dark to light, so you can know this is a natural reset. They may be participating, trying to make things go worse and faster or something, who knows, but it is, this is going to change our landscape. This is going to change our world, and I was even thinking about, because in some of the land that is still showing that we're going to have here, like in this place that they tell us that they called America, that a lot of that land is like Tornado Alley and a lot of storms and stuff. And so yesterday I was thinking, I bet you a lot of these storms are wiping some of this place out because it's part of the reset. So a lot of these places are, whole towns being wiped out and stuff. It's because we have to start over. We have to change it. We have to rebuild. We're going to do it completely different. So all of this, it's like the stage is being cleared. And, you can also see that if you're paying attention and you're watching. The stage is being cleared. It's being cleared because we're having a reset. We're going to reset it. It's going to be better because we're leaving the dark and we're going into the light. And so it's going to be, beautiful. It's going to be exciting. But 100%, you have to be shedding the dark inside you. You have to be doing the work. I'm just mind blown by how many spiritual people out there who think they're riding this wave of ascension just by staying positive. And they're the light workers. They're creating this with their beautiful light by focusing on the positive. It's like, well, we'll see how it works out for you. Because you're not the saviors. And it's an independent journey. And everyone has to save themselves. And it seems like you're not doing the work when the work needs to be done. Because if you're not healing yourself and you're just focused on the positive and you're not seeing the negative, which, we're purging out the negative. So, I don't know. To me, there's some problems there. But when the lights come on, we'll see. We'll all see what the problems are. We'll see what the issues are when the lights come on. When things turn the other direction and the light is there and everything is exposed and everyone is standing there naked, feeling vulnerable, then that's when, we'll see the truth. We'll see, all these love and lighters, was that the right thing to do? We'll see. All these religious people who said, just keep telling Jesus you love him, then we'll see. We'll all see. And I'm just because of my journey is so much about this person that is, come into my dreams and entered my life in such a big way. uh, it's got to have some part of my truth. It would make no sense to me for this person to come so much into my existence. I didn't even know him. I didn't know this person before. Now I feel like I know him real well. I feel like I know him inside and out. I feel like I know this. And not only do I feel like I know him, but I feel like I feel him, like to the point sometimes where I'm not sure if it's my thought or their thought. Like, am I having a response to their experience or my experience? Like, it's trippy. Like, I feel like this total merge is happening. And that is what my soul, my guidance has been telling me the whole time. That this is like this merging happening. That as I'm healing and they're healing, that it's like a magnet is pulling us to each other. But we couldn't get near each other unless we were healed. There's no way we couldn't get near each other. We would stay in separation. But because of the healing, that's pulling us towards each other. And I mean, they are such a part of my thing in this other realm, in this other part of my life, because my spiritual life is such a big part of me. But it's not in this physical part. So I don't know. But to me, there's got to be something about that with my truth. Like, I got to see, either I'm a crazy person and I've made all this up somehow and somehow could control my dreams and have this person show up, and even this morning them show up, which it was so sweet. Oh God, it was so sweet. It was definitely like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want. So, and I do believe we get what we want, but I don't think that it comes easy. I think that you have to expect, you got to do the work. You got to be your best version to pull in what you want. You can't sit there and be at your worst and just want someone to come in and fix you and save you, and that will rescue you. The people who are going to come rescue you are going to use you because you're weak. And so you have to become strong. This is a confirmation, if you haven't noticed. You have to be strong. You have to become independent. You have to be sure of yourself, strong-minded, not weak-minded, sure of yourself about how you feel about things. It's the whole thing. It all happens so naturally when you start focusing on your healing. When you focus on being true to yourself, being honest with yourself, seeing what's really going on, recognizing your own patterns, trying to figure out how to break your patterns and to change the life into the life you want to have, and stop living the one that you feel that was just handed to you. Make it into the one that you want to have. Do the work, make the changes, direct your energy towards your best version. And that is, it seems simple, but, I've been doing it a long fucking time. So, I can make it sound like it's simple, but I do have awareness is very hard, and I have a reminder here right now of how hard it is. And so I just want to say again to all of you, be prepared for the ones who are going to be coming into your lives that are going to be in crises. And remember to be working on your healing and your boundaries and stuff so you can be your best version when you're dealing with these people. So you're not, and it's hard. It's very challenging. And, and if you're not good at setting boundaries, sometimes that can be sloppy. And so it's, and then you gotta, trust yourself. Trust yourself of recognize, okay, this is taking too much from me right now. Like, I've only got so much to give. And you have to be able to pull yourself in to protect yourself, protect your energy, because otherwise we'll all be drained. Well, this will take a lot longer. The people who have been doing the work, you got to stay strong through this. And it's going to be overwhelming. That's something that they showed me so many times. Like I talked about a long while ago. At one time when I was driving into town and whatever in the conversation, it was often in the conversations like, oh God, how long is this going to go on, you guys? Come on. Like, fuck. And So whatever, on this day, when I was pulling in, and all of a sudden I come to a light and there's just traffic, there's so many cars and everything, so many people, and so many people in a hurry, in a frenzy, just caught up in their own shit. And all of a sudden they just impacted me so hard. They just showed me just like the fucking highlighter. It's like how the numbers, it's very, very, very extreme difference in the numbers. So, you know, if you've been on this healing journey, there's a purpose to it. There's a purpose to it. And we are very outnumbered, very outnumbered. And so there, you know, our real true healing is learning how to be strong, independent, keep your values, keep your independence, keep your boundaries, keep yourself as a sovereign being, but also still to have compassion and empathy and love for everybody else. And that's a very, you know, and everybody's got to do it for themselves. And you got to get comfortable with it. But you're going to see. You're going to see. Like everything that isn't healed, you're going to see when these people start coming in. It's going to push all that stuff to the top. And there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot. Because even, you know, when I was trying to make that point to my daughter about going and swimming in the lake with the alligators, and then getting out and going home, and then finding out later that you were in this lake full of alligators, you know, how would you feel? And she had no idea how she would feel, but wanted to know how I would feel. And I said, I wouldn't have gotten in there. She said, well, why? Why would I have gotten in there then if you wouldn't have gotten in there? And I said, because I'm watching the signs. I'm reading the signs. And people who aren't, they don't know that they're not. They don't know the signs are all around them, that all this stuff is happening right in front of them. They don't have any awareness because they're too caught up in their experience, because your reality is what you focus on. Like I've said, it's your focus is your reality. And so all these people are about to be pulled into a different reality, out of their reality into a different one that is going to be very destabilizing. And, you know, and they don't realize that the signs are all around them. And that is going to be a part of the humility of like, how did I not see? How did you see and I didn't see? You just wait and see how many times you're going to hear that. How did you see? How did you see and I'm not seeing? And so it's just like right now they can sit there and tell us we're crazy. But the universe isn't about that. The universe is going to make sure they get to see. But it's going to be on their time, because it has to do with their lessons. It has to do with what their soul plan was. What, you know, the universe needs all different things to play out. Just keep that in mind. Because I can't believe I still see people go around saying they're spiritual people and they're out there teaching people how to be spiritual people. And then they'll say, but you guys got to remember, not everybody's meant to wake up. It's like, you guys, study more about spirituality. Don't, like, to me, all you got to do is just start seeing the numbers and seeing like there's a bigger thing going on here, way bigger. Even people who wake up, they think it's just about their awakening. Well, I woke up, so, you know, they haven't. I'm like, no, if you woke up, it's because the things that you need to work on are being pushed on you already. They're already being pushed on you. And if you just keep focusing on who's not awake, then you're missing all your opportunities to work on what you need to work on, because you're so focused on someone else. And that is, you know, it's super important to realize that the only thing that you can fix is you. Trying to focus on everybody else's problems just shows that you're an ego. Just shows, like, if you think that you've got the answers and the solutions for everyone else, that's ego. So, you know, start noticing where your ego is flaring up all over the place, and start, you know, talking yourself off of that, you know, off of that podium, to think that you're out there to save the world and that you've got to, you know, tell them how to live. And if they haven't woke up by what you've said, then, you know, they're just a hopeless case. It's like, you know, you're being judgmental. You got to work on judgment. There's always, I mean, to me, for studying spiritual stuff for so long, and to see these people just wake up and just, oh, I'm super spiritual, like I know it all, and to not even have studied stuff, and then to be saying stuff that, you know, doesn't make any sense to me. So anyways, everybody's on their own journey, you know, there's nothing do or say or anything to change anybody else's. The only person who can do that is you. You have to. You have to, if you don't like where things are going, you've got to decide what the changes are you want to make and make the changes you want to make. And trust yourself. And, you know, and if it's hard, don't just give up. Just keep working at it. What else you got to do? I mean, what else you going to do with time? This is one thing that way back. So it was like, I don't know, it was like 90, the late 90s. And I was already telling my husband I was going to leave him. I was saying, you know, I'm going to leave you. I gave him a time. If things have not changed, I'm going to leave you at this time. And then I said I was going back to school. And let's see, because at first I was going to get jobs. I would go get jobs because I would think, okay, I'm just going to go back to work. I'm going to leave him. And I'd go get jobs and they would all be sucky. And I had a job at the lab and it was sucky. And then some other girl that worked at the lab, she said, we ought to go to nursing school. And I was like, oh, man, fuck. But then when I would talk to my guides and stuff, because it was like, God, that's years, man. And they said, yeah, but those years are going to pass. So what are you going to do with them? It's like, okay, yeah, you're right. I should be doing something with them. So I will go to school. And so I did. And I started nursing school. She didn't, but I did. And so, and, you know, it was a part of my, you know, I had some chapters in there. It wasn't my destiny. It wasn't my forever. It wasn't where I was ending up. But there was some chapters. There was a lot of significant things that happened through that. And I learned a lot. And I saw a lot. And, you know, that's what life's all about. So, anyways, just remember, you know, if you know, what are you going to do at the time other than do stuff that's good for you, to do things that are positive, even if it, you know, you're trying to learn something that's going to take you a while. You know, don't be put off by that. You know, you say you want to learn how to be a basket weaver and you think, well, you know, I'm kind of old, I'm never going to be able to do it. It's good, you know, just why hold yourself back? Why go into that conversation? Why not follow the desire and start doing it and see where it takes you? So stop holding yourself back. Break free from the dark energy that's trying to hold you back. Battle through those demons, however you want to see them. Battle through that dark energy to get to the light. This is the purge. That's the purge. That's the ascension. That's the letting go of the dark, going into the light. So anyways, everybody's got a job to do. Everybody's got their own job. Everybody's got their own work. But be aware, like, I'm not shitting you. Fuck. It's draining. It's hard to see people in such dire, you know, so weak and sad and beat down, and it's sad, man. We're about to see a lot of it. So, okay, well, we'll see how this day goes. It's a Monday now. We started the next week. This is our third week. Is this our third week? I think it's our third week. I think the first week was a pretty short one. But, you know, November is going to be nearly over after the end of this week. And then we're going right into the holidays. And it's so crazy when you see all these people just keep on doing the holidays. Go from Halloween to Thanksgiving. They're out there buying stuff and decorating and all that. Just still living that life. Still living out there. And it's, fuck, I don't know. It's going to all fucking go. It's all going to blow up here in a minute. So I don't know how it's going to go. But they've got all sorts of little things to get everybody to wake up going on all the time. But something big's about to go down. So, and who knows if it's today, tomorrow, next week, or whenever it's going to be. But I know every single opportunity, every single day is an opportunity for you to work on yourself. That's what all these days are for. So it's for you to, you know, work towards the light, work towards your ascension, get rid of the dark, purge it out of you, and work towards becoming your best version. Work towards your dreams, towards what you love. You know, quit living this fucking toxic life that they wanted to keep us trapped in. So anyways, take care of yourself and I'll talk to you later. Bye.